If you are that floridly alcoholic, you're that drunk, you are that committed, you're gonna get in the car with alcohol in your system and you will hurt someone. If you're lucky, it'll just be you.
Robert Benny admits he drinks too much, and he and his wife Amy have had a volatile, alcohol-fueled marriage. But each time he completes rehab, something or someone always seems to be at the ready with a cold one.
Does she enable me? The hell yeah, because every time out of rehab, she's the first one like, hey, let's have a drink.
We have drank together. The difference is I actually don't drink from 10 a.m.
That's because she gets wasted after 2 drinks. If it keeps going like this, I will end up in the deathbed.
Judge Lynn oversees a very sobering session.
You can't say he'll get it no matter what, so I'll help him go get it.
Thank you.
You can't be a part of the problem.
Today on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Amy Benny and Robert Benny. Mr. and Mrs. Benny, you've been together 11 years. You have been married for the last 7 years. You two do not want to be married anymore. Mrs. Benny, you are seeking a certain financial sum as a function of something that happened not too long ago, and we will discuss that momentarily. Before we do, however, I'm going to start with Mr. Benny and ask him what brings us to divorce court after 7 years of marriage.
Well, Your Honor, it started out pretty good. Kind of my usual. I was married. She was dating. I was her boss. She was my employee.
Uh-huh.
I went in there.
That's not a good start, by the way, but just saying.
If you know my pattern, trust me. I went in there. First day I got transferred to that store, and I said, you know what? I'm getting that. It wasn't about a week later, I got that. And I used my secret weapon.
What's your secret weapon?
That'd be alcohol.
Now, how do you use alcohol as a secret weapon?
Well, Your Honor, I'm 43 years old, and I've been through a fair share of women, and there hasn't been one woman that I haven't been with where you invite alcohol into the program, and you get kind of lucky that night.
So you get women drunk to get lucky. That's what you do. You can't use the charm. There's no. It's just it's booze or you don't get any.
Well, it's not like I shove it down their throat. Okay, she chose to get drunk. Yeah. They chose to get drunk. Right. I just happen to be the guy there.
Oh, I'm not saying you're forcing them. All I'm saying is you're saying that absent the liquor, you wouldn't get any.
You might be right, except I haven't tried that yet.
You haven't tried that yet.
No.
All right. Well, I'll give you points for that.
I'm gonna get some points for that, though.
You got together. You were together 11 years, married 7 years. What brings you here now? What's going wrong?
Well, when we first started out, it was hot and heavy. Sex was great. It was every day. It was like, we weren't into whips and chains, but we weren't Jack and Jill.
Yeah,
right,
I got it.
And lasted a good 2 years, and then now we might as well be strangers.
Well, tell me what went wrong. What are you unhappy about?
Now, no sex. It's like I have a roommate.
Ms. Benny, has the intimacy just gone out of your marriage?
Your Honor, I'm married to a rehab runaway. He's been an alcoholic, serious alcoholic, for at least 20 years. I've taken him to 5 different rehab or detox facilities in the last 4 years. And each time...
Hang on, Mr. Benny. She didn't interrupt you.
And each time, right when he gets out, he just starts drinking again. The longest he's gone without a drink every day was probably 40 days.
And yourself?
Yes, I do drink, but I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh, that's a classic. That's the first thing they tell you.
Now, Mr. Benny, now we'll talk about one thing at a time. Do you agree that you have a problem with alcohol, or do you think she's got that wrong?
You know what? I'd stand here right now and tell you I'm a straight alcoholic.
You're a straight alcoholic?
Right. But for her to sit there and say, Your Honor, I may drink, but I don't have a problem. Well, who the hell's my drinking buddy every night? You know what I
So Miss
I don't just
Benny,
drink by myself.
are you two drinking together?
We have drank together. The difference is I actually don't drink from the 10
mean? That's
a.m.
because she
on.
gets wasted after 2 drinks. So it takes me
I
a
don't
little
drink
longer.
that much. That means
It
I
takes a
haven't
while
been an
to build that
alcoholic
up.
for 10 years. That's the difference.
You know, I gotta say this, Mrs. Benny. Alcoholics generally aren't much fun. They're not romantic.
That's
They're not
exactly
easy
what
to
I'm
love
saying. She's
on.
no
They're
fun
not.
since
They're
we
not
quit
good
drinking.
conversationalists. They're not emotionally in tune. I mean, they're just messy. You're expensive.
Do I
You're
look
hard
messy?
to work with.
I'm a
taken him to the
functioning
ER.
alcoholic.
I've taken him to the ER at least 10 times.
Now,
He's
see,
either
that's
fallen,
messy.
broken
Having
bones.
to go to the as she had to take you to the ER at least
You
10
know
times.
what? She's gotten to the point now, and tell the truth this time, thank God, that I broke my ankle one time. I had to go the weekend with a broken ankle because she wouldn't take me to the ER. And one time, I had to call the fire department myself. I'm like,
You know what they did for him?
What happened to you when you
Nothing.
had to call the fire department for yourself? What was wrong?
What was wrong?
He said he bruised
excuse me,
his
I think she
spleen.
said what was wrong there. I handle it.
Mr. Benny,
Yes.
you're scaring me. Just answer the question.
See?
Well, I'm just saying, if I
What
don't...
was wrong the day that you called 911 for yourself?
All right. I was, believe it or not, I was drunk. And I started having these chest pains, and then I couldn't breathe. And
Right.
I told my lovely wife here, I said, hey, I can't breathe.
That's not what happened.
And oh, okay, that is what, oh, really?
Miss Benny,
I
I'm
was
going to get
there.
to you in a minute. Let him finish, and then I can tell you. Mr.
I was
Benny?
there. And,
Right.
and anyway, I go ahead and I'm telling her now, I'm seriously in pain. I can't get up off the ground. I'm breathing. I'm struggling for breath. And she's like, call him yourself. I said, all right, well, I will call him myself. And I called them. They came through. I had to like crawl the door, unlock it. She's in there taking a nap, going to sleep.
When Divorce Court continues, will Judge Lynn get through to Robert?
I'm trying to get you alarmed about your current situation. I'm trying to get you to worry about your state of alcoholism. I'm trying to wake you up to the nature of the problem. Do you want to give a wake-up call to a couple you think needs to either break up or get it together? If so, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Amy Benny, who says her husband Robert's drinking has ruined their marriage. But Judge Lynn has a wake-up call for Amy, too.
He's killing himself on the installment plan. It's a terrible way to commit suicide. Now, did you ignore the man when he was having a cardiac event?
He was not having a cardiac event. He had
give me
tripped
one
over.
every day.
Mr. Benny, Mr. Benny, do not interrupt. Ms. Benny, go ahead.
He had fallen on either a furniture or piece of equipment that we have in the house and had caused like a bruising area in this area. And he said that he had ruptured his spleen. He was, screaming to the heavens, please take me, I'm dying. But I've
exactly
seen this
why we
so
drink.
many times. I've seen this so many times that I know when it's for real and I know when he's
When
trying to
when
get
it's-
attention.
I gotcha.
And that's what all he was doing. They took
Oh,
him.
okay. How
They
many-
took
how
him to
many
the
times-
hospital.
Hang on, Mr. Benny.
They took him to the hospital
Well,
and
maybe.
admitted him into the ER. And you know what they gave him? Just regular Tylenol, over-the-counter Tylenol.
Mr.
for
Benny,
his pain.
were you not having a cardiac event? You just you bruised your ribs a little bit?
Okay. She's really downplaying that event because there's a little more to that.
Drama queen.
I couldn't breathe. You know what I
Drama
mean?
queen.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Benny. This is just a question. I mean, just a logistical question. If she were not in your life, would you be able to function? I mean, if she just left today and you were home, would you be able to get to work, to feed yourself? Would you be able to function?
Well, if you put it that way, for a little while, yeah.
How long you think you could make it?
6 months?
You think you could be all right for 6 months?
No. Maybe. All right, no, I probably couldn't make it.
You probably couldn't make it.
No,
Now,
ma'am.
Now, doesn't that concern you at all that you're a grown man, 43 years old? I mean, outwardly you look like you're in good
It's-
health. I can't speak for your liver or anything, but you
Right.
look like you're doing okay right
Right.
now. Doesn't it concern you that you don't think you could physically function without the presence of your wife?
Well, it's starting to, Your Honor, but, I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to hang in there with her? It's like, I mean, have you been to a mortuary? That's what our bedroom's like.
Hang in there.
You know what I mean?
You're
I'm
hanging
not,
in with me?
I'm not asking, I'm not trying to reconcile you two. I'm trying to get you alarmed about your current situation. I'm trying to get you to worry about your state of alcoholism. I'm trying to
Well, you know-
wake you up to the nature of the problem.
All right, I'm hip to that. I got a problem, right? I got
Right.
that. And can I survive on my own? No. Does she enable me? Hell yeah, because every time out of rehab, she's the first one like, hey, let's have a drink. Okay, we have a drink.
Do you
Don't
offer
suggest
him a
that.
drink right out of
No.
rehab, Miss Benny?
Absolutely not. No, he always says, we're getting a drink now. We're getting a drink.
And what do you say?
I admit I enable him because if it hadn't been for me
You
paying
should
the
say
thing-
no.
Hey, she's
Get in
right.
the car.
It
The
would
car's
matter.
going home,
He
and if
would
you don't
walk.
want to go home,
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to deal with
He'll
you.
get it no matter what. He'll get it. He'll walk to the corner liquor store.
You
and get
can't
it.
say that. You can't say he'll get it no matter what, so I'll help him go get it.
Thank you.
You can't be a part of the problem.
No, I agree. I agree.
You got to stop that. Don't make it easy for him
I agree.
to kill himself. I mean, he's killing himself on the installment plan. It's a terrible way to commit suicide, but that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Don't you make some payments for him.
When Divorce Court continues, has Robert been sharing too much of himself with women online?
People take pictures of themselves naked all the time, apparently.
Well, I don't-
I mean, it's a thing. Did you do it? Do you believe Robert will ever stop drinking? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Robert Benny, who admits he drinks to survive the misery of his marriage. But is Robert the only one in this marriage with a drinking problem?
Do you have more of an alcohol problem than you care to admit, and you can't stop? You say that he's crosses the line on social media.
Many times, yeah.
crosses the line on
Hang
social
on,
media.
Mr. Benny. I'm gonna get to you.
He's on Facebook, and he has, a lot of friends that he used to go to school with. But then there are most of them are female. But then there's other ones that he's never met before. And I ran across one of the chats that he had with this individual, and only saw her side of it. But what I could gather from her side was that they were passing naked photos back and forth.
Liar.
And yeah, he denies it,
Don't-
but I
don't-
saw
don't
it.
do that.
And
Who takes pictures of
We're
themselves?
pleasuring
and
themselves.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
you've never watched this show, have you? People take pictures of themselves naked all the time, apparently.
Well, I don't-
I mean, it's a thing. People do it. Did you do it?
I might have been drunk. I don't know.
this was at 9:30 in the morning. So if you were drunk, that's pretty early.
Well, now, Miss Benny, let me ask you about your drinking, because you drink with him, don't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have, or yes, you do? Is you say I have, like I've done it once or twice?
No.
But
It would be consistent.
It's
Yeah,
consistent.
It would be consistent.
You drink with him.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a
Wouldn't
drink,
it
buddy.
behoove you not to drink with him if you're worried that he has an alcohol problem? Or do you have more of an alcohol problem than you care to admit, and you can't stop drinking
No,
with him?
I can easily stop drinking. Each and every time he went to rehab or detox, I had no problems not picking up a drink.
Then
I didn't
why-
crave
So
it.
why do you drink when he gets out?
Just to
That's
be
the
around.
time to
I
stay
can't
sober.
stand being around him half the time. He's hard to deal with when he's drunk. He's so off in different directions.
I'm not hard
So,
to deal
I can't
with.
so
keep
you
up with
get
him.
liquored up so you can tolerate your
Tolerate him.
alcoholic husband a little better?
Yeah.
How many levels
Well, hey,
of
you know
dysfunction
what?
do we have
You
here?
know what? That's the same reason I'm drinking.
I mean, if a doctor would say to you, look, you only got a year left if you don't cut it out, would you spend that year drinking, or would you try
If I had
to change?
if I had to live like this, I'd probably be dead in a year. You know what I mean? Because
Live like what?
like the way we've been living, I mean, yeah, I'd keep drinking.
You would, and you would choose to die within a year rather than try something
Well,
different.
no, if it keeps going like this, I will end up in a deathbed.
And you don't mind.
I'm mine, you know what I mean? I look at myself like 43, I still got, you know, a couple women in me. And I could roll the dice and go again, or, you know, I don't know, I just gotta get out of here.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lynn takes Robert's alcoholic behavior personally.
You don't want to live and you don't care about yourself enough. The rest of us have to worry about dying, being out on the road with you. Is that what's going on over here? Do you believe Robert will ever stop drinking? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
Divorce court returns with the case of Amy and Robert Benny, who after 7 years of marriage and multiple trips to rehab, are closing up shop on their union.
You want me to award you $751. Tell me why.
Yeah, so this past 4th of July, we were, at the house, we're cooking out, we had a couple drinks, and then we decided that we wanted to go to the local bowling alley. This is about 9 p.m. I just had a bad feeling. The fireworks around our area had just stopped, and I just had a bad feeling, and I said, I don't want to go out. I said, I do not want to go out. And he kept, being adamant, saying, no, we need to go out. Let's go out, we can have some fun. I said, no, I just don't feel good going out. And I went back upstairs and thinking that he was still in our garage, was just gonna burn off some steam and come back up, only later to find out that he had taken off. So about 11 p.m. that night, I had called his phone and that it was answered, but it was answered by a Long Beach police officer. And he told me that my husband was under arrest for DUI, that he was careening into the intersection after some passerbyers had tried to shake the car to wake him up.
Oh, so he was passed out in the car.
In the car.
On the street.
At a light.
At a light.
And some passerbyers shook because they thought maybe he was having a heart
Heart attack,
or
they didn't know what was up.
So they shook him. When they shook him, his foot came off the brake and started going into the middle of the intersection. Well, luckily, one of the officers had a small enough hand to reach in there and unlock the door and stop the car. And luckily, he didn't hit anyone else.
Mr. Benny, you out there trying to kill everybody else
No,
while
that-
you're killing yourself?
that I really do
You
feel
can't just
bad
take
for.
yourself by yourself and you're going to
Yeah.
have to risk the rest of society because you don't want to live and you don't care about yourself enough. The rest of us have to worry about dying, being out on the road with you. Is that what's going on over here?
You know, there's nothing I can say, but I really do feel guilty about that, and the what ifs of what could have happened, or
No, what will happen if you don't address it? It won't be an if. It's just a when. Because if you are that floridly alcoholic, you're that drunk, you are that committed, you're going to get in the car with alcohol in your system, and you will hurt someone. If you're lucky, it'll just be you.
yeah.
But if you're unlucky, it'll be you and somebody who didn't deserve it.
Could have been her that night.
Now listen, you gonna really leave this man, or you gonna go home, put him in rehab, and wait for him outside with a martini?
No.
I mean, that's your history.
No, I agree.
That's your history.
I agree. That's why I'm here.
Do you believe that you should reimburse her for the $751 that she paid to get the car out of impound and to bail you out of jail? You should have left him in there. You should have just left him straight up in there.
Your Honor, I stayed in there 18 hours because I didn't want to call her. I was more scared of her than I was the police.
But she
the
bailed you out
gangbangers.
eventually.
No,
I had
no,
a
that was
relative
an
call me
accident.
for bail money once, and I said, "Oh, honey, I don't do bail money.
Well, that's
I just don't do it."
Well, that's because this dude told me I could bail myself out because I had my own money. But
Do you think you ought to pay her back?
yeah, I think.
So do I. $751 in favor of Miss
Yeah.
Betty. It is so ordered.
All rise! Parties may leave the courtroom.
Amy says she and Robert are working to repair their relationship. Robert says he has quit drinking, and thanks to Judge Lynn, he's much more aware of the role he needs to play in his sobriety. Amy also says that with some hard work and time, they will have a good life and a long marriage together.